Hey YouTubers, this is going to be a different type of video. I've been praying about this for a few months now, and this little video is in response to another video that I saw on one of my Facebook pages. This was from my stepfather's Facebook page. His name is Steve Roach, Roatch, and it was a video of my mother and him. Like I said, this came from a few months back. I'm not sure how long it was, but the video was of my mother and my so-called stepdad. How they were blasting me all over Facebook for marrying and giving forth my daughter from a black guy. Now, I understand that most of the people of the Mormon Church, they're more open-minded to some things, to relations and to relationships and all that, and how some of the Mormons, they believe that certain issues with certain kind of interracial relations is still considered an abomination in their eyes, but my little thing is that, hey, look, to my mother, Nancy, Nancy, what the fuck does it matter who I marry, what race they are? The biggest question is, does he treat me right? And to answer that question, yes, he does. In most aspects of how he treats me would be considered in a lot much more religions than just Mormonism. He is, in my opinion, the embodiment of ideal ways that a husband can be to his wife. But I was praying long and hard for the past few months to try to find a way to call you, Mother, out on your bullshit. And same thing with you, Steve. I need to call you guys out on your bullshit. Because if my marriage to my husband is an abomination because he's black and I'm white, first of all, fuck you. You guys are racist bigots. And I'm ashamed to be known as your daughter. And Steve, to be in all honesty, I was against both y'all's marriage to begin with when I was 16. Because if you're going to throw shade on me, then I might as well expose you guys. You guys have maintained this false illusion that you guys are pious and that you guys are saints because you go to the right church, so to speak. You guys make all the right moves. You guys do all the right things. But guess what? Your relationship, your marriage is based on a lie. A bald-faced lie. Mom, you're one of the sickest women that I ever have known. You had sex with your stepson. And Steve, I used to defend you because I thought at that point you were innocent, that you were just under my mother's spell, that you were whipped because this was the first woman you had sex with. But guess what? Now it's like, what, almost 20 years later, and you're still with her? Guess what? You don't deserve any mercy anymore. You don't deserve any bit of the backup that I used to give you. Because you now know full and well what you did, and you have to make your bed. And both of you said that my relationship with my husband is an abomination because it says so in the Bible, that I need to sleep with my own kind, which means I need to sleep with a member of my own race. That says so in the Bible. Well, guess what? Two could play that game, because I have a straight up here in the book of Leviticus. Now this is really coming from the Bible that y'all refuse to even acknowledge. It says in the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 6, to start off with. Now this is coming from you, mother. This is coming towards you, mother. It says, "Therefore, none of you shall approach anyone that is of your kin for purposes of sex, for that is detestable, saith the Lord." Now, mother, you approach your stepson. That is your kin. I don't care if you say, "Oh, well, he is the son of my previous husband, and therefore we're not DNA related." No, it says so in the Bible. That is incest. And you had an affair with your stepson, my stepbrother, still during your marriage to my dad. You started that relationship when I was 12. Never mind that he was 18. Never minding that he was an adult. That was your stepson. That was your kin. And it says so in the Bible that that's detestable. How dare you say to the church that your relationship to your new husband is holy when you've actually based it on a lie? I was there. I witnessed everything. And thank God I never was invited to the wedding, because I would have been the first person to say, "I object." And later on in that same book, now this is going to you, Steve, it says in verse 8, same chapter, "The nakedness of your father's wife you shall not uncover," meaning you shall not have relations with your father's wife, "for that is an abomination, saith the Lord." Steve, you knew full and well that that was your father's wife, and you still approached that. And knowing more about the Bible now than you have ever done since you've been a member of the church, you should have cut that shit out. The Holy Bible says that what you guys did was incest. Never minding if you guys were steps, not blood related. You still did it to each other, and you guys were still family, kin. Now, I was praying long and hard over the past few months on how to do this, or if I should even do this. But for the past week, the Spirit was telling me that I need to expose it, that I need to stand up and do something. because I do not want any more lies to be uttered by you, Nancy, and I do not want you to continue to live those lies. You kept on telling me all my life that I need to stop living by excuses, that I should never have excuses to live by, that I should always tell the truth, that I should always live the truth, because doing otherwise would be living a lie. Well, guess what? You need to take your own damn advice, Mother. You need to stop living the lie. Now, to your 2 children that were born from this incest, I have no beef with them when it comes to their DNA. They did not choose it. They're totally innocent of it. They're totally innocent children. But for you 2, Mother and Steve, to tell me when I was down there almost 4 years ago that my relationship to my husband is an abomination, now I have this to say to you guys. Now that I feel safe to actually do so and actually get a word in edgewise without you guys jumping in the first sentence that I'm trying to even speak. Go look in the fucking mirror and see who is the abomination. Now I know that I would get a lot of flack for this because this is usually not me. But god damn it. All the crap that I've been feeling these past few years, biting my tongue, trying hard to be peaceful with people like you 2. Sometimes you just break. Not to excuse it. But this is my time to speak on that issue, Mother. You have crossed the line severely. You've crossed the line multiple times. You berated me, made me feel like I was low, made me feel like I was nothing, made me honestly believe that the world would have been better if I had just died. That I should have died a long time ago. That I should have died when I was barely a year old. How dare you? You, the person that beat the crap out of me. You, the person that tried to kill me 76 times. You, the person who inspired me to commit suicide. You, the person who pimped me out to your own brother. Yes, I'm continuing to tell the truth. You allowed your own brother to rape me. You allowed your own husband to mess with me. And you call yourself a saint? I don't know what's worse. Me having PTSD? Me having hatred towards you? Me so screwed up in the head that every time that I speak to another person, I'm afraid that I'm always going to sound retarded because you screwed me up in the head so much? Or the person who caused it, who actually allowed it to happen? Now I'm going to pray that you would see wisdom and that you would actually come correct publicly. And I pray that God has mercy on your soul. Because by your definition, by your twisted sense of morality, the criteria which you say that I'm going to go to hell, especially since I'm also an outed bisexual, by your own measuring stick, I hope God has mercy on your soul, because your own measuring stick says that you are going to go to hell for judging I hope one day that you could see wisdom, that you could see where you messed up, and I hope and pray that you repent. Because I know I need to repent for a lot of things too. I'm not perfect. But guess what? Neither are you. You have no standing to even say that you are perfect, that you are a saint, just because you belong to the Latter-day Saint Church. You are not a saint. A saint would never, ever allow such atrocities to happen. Unlike me, you, mother, have no honor. And to all the rest of you out there in the internet, I do apologize if this is a little disturbing. But, like I said, I've been praying about this for a long time. And honestly, in my life, especially when it comes to my mother, the bullshit needs to stop. And with that, I'm taking a stand. And this is me taking my stand. And to you, mother, I better see my daughter pretty soon. You may have won in the court of law, but if we were in any kind of third world country where that kind of shit does not fly, let's just say welcome to the jungle, baby, because you're going to go down. You got in between a good mother who's trying and actually succeeded in breaking the chain of abuse that started with you. You got in between a good mother and her child. And the law of the jungle says you best make your peace with God, because if you get in between a jaguar and her cub, you are going down. Well, guess what? You ought to be thankful that this is not the law of the jungle. You, mother, are dead to me. And Steve, so are you. And I hope and pray to God that when I see my daughter, that you would have not destroyed her the way that you almost fully destroyed me. Because when I see my daughter, if I hear anything about you guys messing with her head, oh, it is on. I best see my daughter soon. because I will never, ever stop fighting for her. She has been the best thing that ever happened in my life. And you, Mother, said that I deprived you of being a grandma? No. Now that I'm able to get a word in edgewise, I did not deprive you. You deprived yourself. You deprived yourself the moment you started beating me up. The moment you tortured me. The moment that you tried to saw my leg off. The moment that you punctured my head multiple times with stiletto high heels. The moment you poisoned me to try to kill me. You deprived yourself of being a mother and being a grandmother by becoming a monster. I did not do that. You did it yourself. You kept on telling me that with the way that I live my life, that I make my bed, now I shall lie in it. Guess what, Mother? Take your damn advice. You may think that you're happy because you live in a $250,000 home. Well, guess what? You don't need to have that $1 million home, or even a $250,000 home, or supposed good standing in a church. You don't need any of that. You don't need any of the trappings to be considered having a good life. You kept on saying that was nothing. Well, guess what? Not only have I been invited to do a TED Talk, to talk to other people who have been in my situation and survived, but I've also got a book deal. And guess what, Mother? You're not going to see a damn penny of it. I may not do great things. I may not have any of the trappings and the baubles that you have. But guess what? Genuinely, I am happy. Genuinely, I'm content with my life. I'm content with what I've got. I'm content with the way that I have self-esteem, finally. Something you never gave me. Something you tried to kill since I was 3. I now got self-esteem. I got a sense of purpose. I have a loyal, non-abusive man to call me wife. He doesn't hit me. He doesn't belittle me. He doesn't bully me. He validates me. He treats me nice. I'm the happiest with him that I have ever been in my whole entire life. That aside from my daughter. And if you can't be happy, which in fact I don't think that you can be happy, because that'll be, oh my God, dare I say the concept, you have to like get rid of your bullshit. And and dare I say it, I think I'm actually a little bit more happier with my marriage to my husband because, oh, he's not part of my gene pool. Unlike you, who could honestly think that getting a second husband in your own gene pool was ever really a good idea. I mean, what was it? You were too afraid to imagine that, dare I say, that no other man outside of the family, outside of the religion, outside of anybody would ever really want a manipulative bitch like you. I tried so hard. Trying hard not to make this into like a total bitch fest. I try so hard to try and make this into a pretty much a civilized thing. But god damn it, sometimes you just gotta let shit fly. You just gotta need to purge the darkness in you in order to cling to the light. And this was part purging, but also part exposing. And I hope you see this, Mother and Steve. My hope for you is that you finally see wisdom and divorce the bitch. And then see the light. The both of you have told me time and time again that I'm a deafness sinner. Well, guess what? Both of your marriage was based on sin. God was never involved in that shit. And neither was I. Thank God. Like I said, I'm sorry for if this distresses a lot of people that knows me as a person trying to be peaceful all the time. But even the most peaceful people can have a dark cloud that needs to be purged. This is one of mine. This is Angela, signing off.